What's going on, everyone? We're going to take a live look at the Nasdaq futures. It is currently 7:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I kind of want to go over some of the levels that I will be watching in the overnight's futures session, as well as the pre-market and going into tomorrow. So not a bad day overall in the markets, right? So we had a nice gap up. We got some stocks to kind of gap and go, and then we kind of went sideways for a little bit. The only thing I didn't necessarily like was that pullback the last hour of the market open. So if we kind of look at the 1 hour time frame here on the Nasdaq futures, we can see right out of the gates we had a nice surge here. We did get a nice push and confirmation that did actually get over this yellow line. Now this yellow line here, if you kind of think about it, this is the 200-day moving average. This is going to be the granddaddy of them all, right? You figure over the 200-day moving average, we're going to be bullish. Under the 200-day moving average, we are going to be a little bit more sell biased. So I was looking at this, the second hour of the open, we got that confirmation over. What I was really hoping for was a nice build. And then when we did get a back test, right? So I was hoping for a little bit of a push higher. And then when we did pull back into this 200-day moving average, consolidate, and then start to close higher, right? So if we would have got this close going into, the close today versus what we got now, I would be a lot more long-sided bias going into tomorrow. Now, this pull that we got was very, very aggressive, continuing the selling here in the after hours. Now, it doesn't mean that we're going to come all the way back down and then, take out the lows and then make a new low. Doesn't necessarily mean that. If you kind of look at what's going on here on the bigger picture, if we just kind of take it back, right? If we just kind of take it back about 2 weeks here, coming off of these highs, we had a nice decline here, putting in these lower highs along the way, and then we started to base out and create a nice little base here. We started to move up going higher, and we got rejected at this linear regression line. So when we got rejected at that linear regression line, we got the next downward turn. So when we got that downward turn, okay, 1 second here. When we got that downward turn, this is when we made the bottom, 11,068, and then we started to get the nice push higher. So what I was kind of looking at was, is this forming a little bit of, a bear flag here? If we talk about, the last decline to, essentially this breakdown that we started to have here. So when we started to get this breakdown here, I was really looking, okay, what's the area of support that could probably hold? It looks like right now, down 107. Looks like the 50-day moving average might be a little bit of a catch zone there. We do have this supply down here at 11,410. This, I would expect this to hold. Now, if this area doesn't hold, we're going to get a flush, okay? We're going to get a nice washout. That's probably going to put us down another 100 to 150 points before the market even opens tomorrow. And that is 11,410. If we do lose this area, we will get a flush. You will wake up in the morning pre-market to us being down about 250, which essentially is going to erase all of today's gains, as well as cutting into those Fridays, the move we had on Friday. Now, from the bull perspective here, this is not necessarily a bad thing that we're pulling back. In my personal opinion, if we do get down to 11,400, I would like to see this area hold. For me, I would like to get into this area, potentially when we open up, get a nice first initial washout, and then that first to second hour after the market's open, reclaim this area. And if we reclaim this area, that's extremely bullish. We are going to trap all the eager and early shorts right off the bell. We are going to reclaim this 50-day moving average, which is sitting at around 11,450, something around there. And then we can start making a push higher. Now, once we do make that crack again at the 11,598, which is that 200-day moving average here, that's kind of just sloping, declining yellow line that you see here. If we can reclaim this, I think potentially we got ourselves a nice little uptrend for a short-term rally. That does not mean that these are going to be the lows. It does not mean that we're going to push higher and never going to see, a retest of this price point here or lower. But what I'm saying is maybe we get ourselves a nice little 1 to 2 week rally here on you know, the Nasdaq and on tech, and I could essentially see us getting back up into a zone of around 12,000. So that's about 550 points away, 600 points away from now. But obviously, if you've traded the Nas, you know that this thing can swing 1, 2, 300 points in a session. So realistically, covering about 500 to 600 points on the Nas is only about a week's worth of price action. We can completely take out the highs and then continue to into that 12,000 range here. Now, this area is going to act as a bit of resistance. It acted as prior resistance before last week. It's 11,800. If we want to make sure we're taking note of that. Also, this staircase step down here as well as here. So if you just kind of draw your line across, look at where this is averaging up to. It's averaging right into this zone that I'm saying that we could potentially target, which is the 12,000 range. So even if we do take a nice little washout, we can kind of, you know, take our time and staircase up this way. This is going to provide a nice trading opportunity for a lot of stocks in tech in the overall markets, which you're going to be able to make some money on the way up. Again, it does not mean that this is the bottom. It just means that maybe we're going to get a little bit of a relief bounce for a temporary rally. Now, the easy short position, anything through 11,400 is definitely going to be the short position. So if you're on a smaller time frame, you're going to want to get that close under that 11,400, and then when we confirm on the next candle is when you're going to want to get short, and then you're going to want to target the 11,200 and then obviously the 1100 mark. I hope this video kind of gives you a little bit overall direction and kind of clarity as to where I think the market could potentially be heading. But this back test is not a bad thing for the bulls. A lot of times I see newer traders, they get upset that the futures are red. The futures red overnight into the pre-market is a good thing. Not all of the time, but majority of the time it says that we are going to be able to try and trap some shorts off the open, and then potentially when we trap those shorts, start reclaiming for a nice aggressive rally up. Now, if we do get that close below 11.4 and then we do continue the flush, well, then that's a pretty easy trade as well. 11,400, we're definitely going to want to just take that. But if we do not confirm the lows below the flush, then expect the trap to come back and then be looking to the long side. Hope this video helps. If you guys want more information on how you guys can learn how to day trade futures, definitely get funded first. I would say learn the skills to pay the bills, meaning do not risk your own capital. Go get funded, guys. Up to $150,000. I work with a fantastic prop firm that myself and a few of my buddies in my Discord community also work for. We're funded anywhere between $50,000 and $150,000 worth of trading capital, as long as we got the skills to respect our daily loss limits and, you know, kind of put on these strategies so that we can be profitable. You know, why risk our own money? You know, it's an 80-20 commission split. So basically all the profits that we make, we take an 80% cut of that and we pay 20% back to our prop firm. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys all next time.